Yeah.
I'm Ash,
And I'm Fatima.
and this is
Fatash.
Fatash. Mike, put my music on.
But turn it down.
So old. Oh, God. Speaking of old, I saw Missy Elliott this weekend.
What? Wait. Why
I
you
say,
gotta?
I say
What?
old.
What?
I say, let me finish. I say old because I was just talking to Mike about how everyone in the audience was older than I expected. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I have a very skewed perception of even my own age. But Missy Elliott is literally the same age as my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So a
Yeah.
lot of people in the audience that grew up with Missy are going to be the age of my mom.
Yeah.
And the rest of us who are young enough to recognize Missy Elliott around like the under construction age, get your freak on, and
She was not new then.
she was
Yeah.
not. She was new to me because I'm a baby. I was a kid. I honestly had no business listening to a lot of Missy Elliott's tracks, but yeah. So like the audience was like, most of us were like young millennial to whatever 50 is. A lot of like aunties and uncles. Like there was a few young kids, and it was funny because some of the young kids got caught on like the camera, and there was like one kid standing there just disinterested. Granted, Missy wasn't on stage yet. It was like some DJ in between dude, and then like I saw this like white boy. He looked like he's probably maybe 21, in there with his like aunt or mom or something, and just did not look interested at all. But
How dare
well,
he?
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you better stand the fuck up. You in the VIP floor area too. You better get up on your feet. But yeah. But it was good. It just reinvigorated my appreciation for Missy, and I'm just very appreciative of the fact that I got to see her perform live in my lifetime, because she was gone. She was like the Avatar. When the world needed her most, she vanished for like years, and I thought like, damn, this might be it. Like between her and Sade, those are two people I've always wanted to see in concert, but they kind of just dropped their last album and disappeared for like 10 years, maybe drop a single here and there, but there was like no word of if they were ever going to do like a tour or a festival or anything where I'd be able to see their creativity live. I mean, Sade's not going to do nothing too creative live, but I just like her voice. I just love her sultry voice. But Missy Elliott has been, I mean, she's just been so fun for the better half of like 30 years, man.
Yeah,
Like,
she's just brilliant. All of that, if you think about all of that content that she's put out.
yeah, like visually, like her music video concepts.
And when she was doing it, how consistent she was. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Visually, the concepts, the sounds, the lyrics. And then for her to be not your stereotypical video vixen or anything like that, and she has some of the raunchiest lyrics, but like never really showed skin. Like,
but she also like she came along before like the fat positivity movement.
Yeah, she was always
always just
girl.
Doing her thing and never really mentioned it. Like,
no.
It was just like,
and she lost
because
weight.
you know what it was? It was just confidence. It's like, I know I'm fine.
She knows
I'm fine.
She knows she got that good. She like, and she was cute. Like, she's a big girl, but she's cute. Like, her being big never diminished anything about
and she could dance. She could
move. Look, she actually had a big girl. No, not her. Sierra, one of her backup dancers, was a fat girl. That girl could move. Oh my gosh. I mean, all her dancers could, but like, I've been outrun by girls twice my size. So you know.
Well, I could never run fast anyway, so I can't think of a time that it has happened, but it's probably happened because I am the slowest person. Me becoming an athlete was like the biggest shock to everyone, including me.
You just had to find the right sport that didn't require you to actually run. Like you do golf, you just walk from hole to hole or take a cart. You ain't even gotta run.
But also with tennis, yeah, you do have to run if you can't figure out how to dominate the court. But if you can figure out how to dominate the court, like how to just crush your opponent, the ball always comes right back to you, or not at all.
Or a couple steps to the left, to the right. If you got long legs,
because you're running left and right, like.
But yeah, so shout outs to Missy Elliott. She has been a vanguard 4 years, regardless of her size. Like again, and like I said, this was also
but that's also the thing, because she was never like the big girl rapper. She was always just an excellent rapper and performer and dancer and everything. When she lost weight, it was never like, oh, you're abandoning your community or your fan base or whoever, because that was never the focal point.
Never. And again, she was always like, she would lean into the big girl look. Like she wore like baggy clothes and outfits that would like emphasize size, but like in a goofy, avant-garde way.
I can't stand the rain.
I can't stand the rain. I can't believe that's the song that they sent to Venus of all of her songs. But she has such iconic looks, and again, a lot of her looks never really showed her skin like that, but they were always such interesting looks. You weren't even concentrating on it. And she came up during a time where the like sexy female rapper wasn't that big of a thing. Like you had Little Kim, but that was like that.
Little Kim also had like lyrics.
She did, but
looks but
that's the thing.
So much going on.
But her looks, while her lyrics were also raunchy, if not raunchier than Missy Elliott's, she came out the gate with like the look that matched the lyrics. And with Missy, it was like such a stark contrast, because she can go from like some goofy lyrics to, saying like, yeah, I'm gonna suck your dick till the sun come up. It's like, huh? Missy! Well, you are a grown woman. Okay. But, but yeah, so I always appreciate that about her. And like just hip hop and rap in like the 80s and 90s, I think was able to flourish it the way it could a lot better without the internet we have today.
But also the internet is why nothing ever goes away.
Mm-hmm. It's a double-edged sword.
And it's also why, like, I remember teaching, and I could hear some of the students like singing SWV, and I'm thinking like, what do you know
about that? Like songs that are like mad old.
You weren't even in utero. You were in imagination. Like you were not.
I mean, unless your parents are playing it. Like that's how I grew up on Stevie Wonder and
They
Sade.
had the internet.
I had my mom's CDs. Yeah. So depending on the parent that's raising the generation, they might be like millennials that grew up on that kind of music. So it's like it's going to be in rotation one way or another. But yeah, I feel like the internet today, a lot of the discussion about an artist isn't even always about their music and the lyrics. It's their looks and all that. It's like that's not what you should be concentrating on. So I'm very happy that Missy Elliott has been able to do her music at her own pace, be welcomed back with open arms after years in a diametrically different hip-hop kind of rap world that we're in now, where folks just want, what's going to be the next TikTok sound and dance kind of thing. She's not really leaning into that. Like she did have a dance for the There was a new track she had out for the tour. That dance looked so complicated. I'm like, girl, I don't know. I mean, some people were able to do it, but it wasn't one of those moves where you could like, you know, a couple practices and you got it down like Megan's Mamushi dance. Like the Mamushi dance, I got that down in like a weekend. I just don't have any rhythm, so it doesn't look
Can you
as
make
cute.
your avatar do it? Can you do it now?
No, unfortunately, the avatar has limited movement. But I can do it. My niece sent me a video of her doing it. It's like there's various degrees of the fluidity of people doing the moves, but you know the moves, you know the steps. The Missy dance, I'm like, girl, I can't, but I love you. But yeah, so that was a good time for me. I'm wearing her shirt now behind the avatar. It's all nice and soft too. It's one of those, you know how sometimes you gotta wear in your concert shirt because it'd be all stiff and shit.
I've never bought a concert shirt.
What? Well, you don't go to concerts like that either.
No.
I have, how many concert shirts do I have now? I have this one, I have a Willow shirt, and I have a...
But also, when I'm at a concert, I look at the shirt and then I'll be like, "That's way too much money."
They do be a lot.
And I know it's so that, you know,
that's how they make their money.
One, that's how they make their money. Two, like you get to tell a story about the shirt. Like, oh, I got this one I went to, and it's a way of like commemorating
it's
like
dated.
the experience. Yeah. But
it's got all the cities it was at.
I don't knock other people for buying the merch.
It's expensive as fuck.
I just have it. And also I am like just so fucking frugal. Like
girl, who you talking to? Hello? I flew all the way to Atlanta to see this concert because it was cheaper to go to Atlanta than it was in Illinois.
But I also blow my money on other things. I'm frugal about like the most stupid shit, and then other things are just kind of like, no, I'm okay with paying $3 for this shallot. Like,
yeah, same. Yeah, this shirt was $45. The sweatshirt I got from the Age of Pleasure tour was like $60, and the Willow shirt was actually pretty cheap. I don't remember how much I paid for it because I also got VIP for that show, but I had insurance, and because I didn't scan my ticket, I essentially got VIP for like $25, and the shirt came with it. So about $25 for a shirt and a show. Not bad at all.
Not bad.
Yeah. But I like getting shirts because it's a nice way of commemorating the event. You know, one day, because I don't wear the shirts. Well, that's a lie. I definitely get my wear out of the Janelle Monáe sweatshirt in the winter. And I've been sleeping in the Missy Elliott shirt ever since I got it. The Willow shirt has not gotten much play in like about a year, but I want to, when I get a bigger space, have a like dedicated wall to all the concerts I've been to, because I will usually keep the ticket, or I'll have a VIP lanyard or a poster, if not a shirt. So I like to have a wall dedicated to all the shows I've been to, and like have some kind of like t-shirt display of those shirts that I'm not wearing, or maybe make it into a quilt. I've seen people making t-shirt quilts of like old shirts they don't wear anymore. That'd be fun.
Oh, that's cute. That'd be cute.
Yeah,
I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's a Care Bear.
Oh,
it's from Five Below. It's like my first Five Below shirt, because I wasn't sure like
the quality.
Yeah, and I cannot just wear any old thing because, like I've explained before, my follicles will not abide. I ordered some. Skin. I have bougie, expensive, throw a tantrum skin.
Don't you hate that? Especially when you're frugal, you're like, bitch.
Yeah,
I don't want to buy Egyptian cotton. It's like,
and it's like, and the skin be like, well, I'm gonna bubble up. I'm gonna throw a tantrum.
Right.
I'm gonna give you a mystery rash that leaves scars that don't heal for years. Yeah.
Instantly too. Like my skin, I can't do costume jewelry. I can't have, if it's a nickel, it better be the coin. Because if there's any trace of nickel in something, within minutes, my ears are flaring up. My neck has a rash, like instantaneously. It's
Do you remember
crazy.
that one time I wore that thing that had like the cat ears?
Vaguely.
And it was like bright yellow or gold. Like it was like a sweater material, and it had a little hood, and the hood had little cat ears.
Vaguely.
That came from a website that we did not realize shipped straight from China.
Oof.
And I was wearing like a shirt underneath it. First of all, I had washed it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was wearing a shirt underneath it, and still like it was like some kind of material was flaking off of it, got onto my skin, and it gave me a rash that left me with scars, and those scars did not heal up for years. Some of them are faintly visible. It was all down my front.
Wow.
And so like that's when I hear my friends saying like, oh, I went on this vacation with this group, and they wanted us to wear like these different kind of like outfits, and say like wear a blue hat and wear this kind of dress and blah
Oh my
blah
God,
blah blah
was
blah.
it a
And
bachelorette party?
no, it was not even a bachelorette party. But
Oh,
she was like, oh well, I was a little annoyed, but I bought all that stuff from Shein, and I was thinking like I could never ever order from Temu or Shein or whatever.
I've done it. How many times have I ordered from Shein? Twice. I have 2 actual articles of clothing from Shein. One I've only worn once, and another one I haven't worn yet. But the material, I mean, you get what you pay for. Like, it's not like I paid premium prices and got tissue paper. It's about what I would expect, especially too because the pictures look so different, or not so different. The way they take the pictures, the material you think is like a higher quality, but like good lord, these materials hang on to wrinkles like nobody's goddamn business. Can sometimes be thin, and then they're going on like Asian sizes, so like, you know, the small might not fit like you want. Like for me, I actually have the opposite, where the smalls aren't small enough for me, and they don't always have an extra small. Oh, the struggles. But yeah, I in general try to avoid fast fashion, or if I am getting something fast fashion, they need to be like a basic that I'm going to get repetitive use out of, to warrant, you know, the cheapness of it.
Yeah, it's just that
repetitive use for something that's cheap, but it's like, you know, like a pair of sunglasses I'm aware periodically, but often. Like I don't care if it's not part of the season anymore. Like these are cool glasses, I'm gonna wear them.
Yeah, it's just that fast fashion has like decreased the quality of everything.
Everything. It's ridiculous.
As prices continue to rise and we lose our retail stores too. What do they call the people the corporate raiders that made Radio Shack and Toys R Us and Cache and New York and Company?
Ooh, I think probably even Express. There was an Express in my mall, and they're
Express. Oh, private equity. Private equity is
Jesus Christ.
As we lose all of our retail spots to private equity. Yeah.
I was at a mall in Atlanta this weekend, and it was a ghost town. It doesn't help.
I was thinking that maybe the like high-end fancy ass, like
because nobody got money for the high-end shit. That was the thing too. It was a high-end luxury mall. We were just there for the AMC, but like, yeah, all the stores were high-end luxury brand. Like when we came
I remember being in a mall in Atlanta and just being like amazed about how people seem to dress up to come to the mall because they had money and they were coming to spend some more money, like it probably has tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah,
it probably has more people like during the holidays when you're trying to buy gifts and stuff, but it was just so sad, like for this to be a Saturday. It was like matinee time on a Saturday, and most people were like again, either at the AMC, or there was like a Lego store / kind of Lego World thing on like the upper level. So I think that's where the majority of people were. But everywhere else, Louis Vuitton, Jimmy Choo, Alexander McQueen. I'm like, good, this place is too expensive for my blood. I feel poor just walking by. And there's like nobody in the store except for the store clerk. There were 2 sunglass shops, like, not like the Sunglass Hut itself. I think there was a Sunglass Hut, and then like 2 stores down was another sunglasses store. And I'm like, what the, y'all are cannibalizing each other. Like, for there to be a store just for sunglasses is already,
sunglasses,
and with the rent,
had a big thing happen to them a couple of years ago where, like, due to some corporate merger, like nearly all sunglasses, it's like 85% of sunglasses are
Sunglasses Hut
are run by the same company. It's not Sunglass Hut. They're just a retailer. Like, there's a manufacturer, like there's a huge conglomerate, but the manufacturer of that, so which resulted in almost all sunglasses, regardless of their price point, coming from the same factory. That and the only difference between them is just like the branding. So you're better off like hunting for a deal like online and figuring out like what style, like if you see something high end and you like that style, go look for that style
on Zulu,
for a cheaper price.
Zenni, Optical, yeah. Especially, I can't see, so I need prescription sunglasses, and it's expensive. So let me just go on over to Zenni
I want
Optical.
my brother to go get an eye exam so bad because I don't know. I don't know why he won't do it. He has insurance. He just won't go.
Typical
like he'll be cutting, like he'll be like cutting something, like getting some food, and his face will be like right here between his eyes and the food. And I'm like, why are you sticking your whole face in my pie that I worked hours on? And he's like, well, I can't see it.
Like, glasses. Does he just not want to wear glasses?
He has glasses. He can't see in his glasses. That's why it's time for an eye exam.
You ain't got to get an eye exam every year, but like for me, I think I get.
But when you can't see,
exactly. Like even for me, I think I probably get my eyes examined like maybe once every 3-4 years or something. Just cause I'll notice my prescription just feels weaker. And it kind of is, because like one of my eyes is stronger than the other. Like I can literally close an eye and it'll be blurry, and the other one not so much. And I have like slight astigmatism apparently in one of the eyes, so it's like they have to recalibrate your lenses ever so slightly so that you're not straining too much. Again, just once every like 3 years, depending on how extreme it's going to be, but just by virtue of being on this earth, your eyes are deteriorating.
I wonder if he doesn't want to go because he doesn't like that one part of the eye exam that I also hate when they
dilate it.
when they make you look at the air balloon, and then that little thing goes.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's better than when your eyes get dilated and then you're all sensitive to light.
Yeah, I always forget about that, and then I'm in the parking lot like, how am I gonna get home with those?
Yep. Yeah, the air thing is weird. I forget what it's supposed to do, but I don't like it.
I think it's the glaucoma test.
Oh, maybe. Like just to register that your eye feels pressure?
I have no idea of what it's supposed to do or how it's supposed to work, but
It is definitely unsettling though. Even when you know it's coming.
But it is my least favorite part.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like you really have a favorite part of going to the doctor if any.
I have a least favorite part.
That's the thing. Everyone has a least favorite. It's like, oh, I love when I get my prostate exam. Well, though, maybe some guys do. Now that I think about it.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Science Versus has a entire episode on like stimulating the prostate and anal pleasure for men. And I was in the kitchen cooking, thinking that I was by myself, and I was enjoying my podcast, learning about anal stimulation in men. And then in walks my father, and he is like, "What are
Like,
you?"
hey, Dad, pay attention. This is for you.
What?
Pay attention, Dad.
What?
Maybe you and Mama can try something out.
He said, I'm gonna tell your mama.
Tell your mama. Mama might be like, are you interested? Are you trying to tell me something?
No.
I mean,
No.
I'm saying it's there. Though I hear with at least with prostate exams, I don't think they actually need to necessarily like physically do that anymore. Cause like I remember Mike was telling me that he was like mentally preparing himself to like get one of those exams. Cause you know, men, if you're listening out there, you're supposed to get it checked like around like 40 or so. Like that's when you should start.
Well, yeah. Well, I was having like my annual gynecological exam, and a doctor slid a finger up there, and I was like, "Whoa, wait!" And it's only because like he didn't. Either he warned me and I wasn't paying attention, which happens a lot, or maybe he just thought that I knew that was part of the exam, and I was like, I didn't like it. And then I was like, why? I don't have a prostate. I don't know what he was checking for.
I don't know, maybe polyps or something. I don't know.
I have no idea. But
I've never had an intrusive gynecological exam. Like every time I've gone, I say every time. I think I've only gone once at this point. Like I asked my primary physician if I should go because I initially was told when you turn 25 that it was either 21 or 20, I think it might have been 21, that you should have your first gynecological exam. 21 or when you start having sex. I hadn't had sex yet, but I was 21 and I told my primary care physician, she's like, oh, well, if you're not having sex, then you ain't gotta worry about it. And I was like, okay. Then it turned when you were at least 25. Alright, I'm 25. Let me go see a gynecologist because it's like I'm not having sex, but like I've been having a period for like what 13 years at this point. Like, I think that warrants an examination of my bits being functional. But even when I went to her, she was like, "Oh, you're not having sex? Oh, just do like a pat down kind of thing." So she just did like a visual, you know, she just looked at it and then she like did like a pelvic exam on like the top of my stomach. Over the clothes and all that. I don't know what she gonna feel, but
she's if you have fibroids,
you can feel that. Just through the
over the top,
Oh wow, okay. Well, that's all she did, and I was like, okay, well, until I start having sex, I guess I'm not coming back because that's just wasting my time. But yeah, I've always been worried about the whole being up in the stirrups and them using that fire thing. What's that thing they stick up in there? The Oculus, not the Oculus. What's that thing called?
I know what you're talking about.
Mike's face.
I know what you're talking about. It looks like a shoe expander.
It looks like two shoe expanders.
And it makes that clank clank sound. Yeah,
and they stick it, and it's metal, and it's usually cold.
Yeah, and then they crank it. Yeah.
That I've always been worried of, especially since again I'm not having sex. I'm like, y'all about to stretch
and
me
then
out.
They stick something in there to like scrape things because they have to get cells from the side. Yeah,
that sounds so scary. And then my one other worry that's not really a worry was having a hot doctor.
Oh yeah.
I do not want a hot male doctor looking at me. Down.
Yeah,
that would just be
more
awkward for me. Like it's definitely an interesting medical field to go into. I think as a guy, like it's okay, this is what you chose to do. Interesting, but how dare you also be hot? Like this is just my body is going to react, and I don't want it to.
Well, at least you're not a man. I mean,
but again, with prostate exams, it don't matter if you're like physically attracted to a person at all. It's literally a button that'll make you feel things. is a clitoris in your butt. Oh God.
Nice.
That was the rest of your weekend.
Good. Actually, Dad, okay, so we've been going through things with the garden. Okay, so we have these raised beds. We had lettuce, and we've got beans, like those string beans, and we've got squash, and we've got zucchini, and we've also got tomatoes, and I think that's it. But like the lettuce flourished, and there was like, I showed you the picture of the lettuce. There was just so much lettuce. But then like it bolted. So like when it bolts, it like, and it can bolt because it's like really, really hot, and it has been hot. So when it bolts, then like the leaves are edible. You won't be poisoned if you eat them. However, they taste bitter and they don't taste that great. So like we learned this after the fact, but Dad like pulled it all up because he had read that you could replant lettuce in the middle of summer and you can have like a second harvest. So
like leaves and all, or you gotta cut the leaves and it's just like the bulb part.
Okay, so like if we had done it correctly, we would have cut it down to like having like 4 inches on top of the soil. However, we didn't know about that. So Dad had pulled it all up, and then he was like, okay, so I'm going to the garden store to find some more lettuce. And he had figured he would like plant some more lettuce. We got to the garden store. Why was like everything was gone. Like I don't know what they were doing with their inventory, but like everything, it wasn't everything, but like they had nothing but flowers and like rows and rows of like empty beds. So we're like, what happened? So then we said and then I said, okay, well, let's go to a different nursery. And he was like, well, like Menards is kind of far away, and
save big money at Menards.
Can't help it. But and then Walmart, we didn't want to go to Walmart, especially since the Walmart around here has now implemented a policy of only allowing you to check using the self-checkout if you have 15 items or less.
Interesting. So
which is crazy because also they don't have enough cashiers like physically manning the cashier thing. So yeah, that
the self checkouts are not foolproof. They are so finicky. God forbid you're trying to get your shit together and you put things on the bagging side without scanning first, and now it's frozen. Talking about remove the item. I'm like, it's gone. Now I gotta wait for somebody to come by and swipe their card. It's fucking annoying. Also, what's stopping me from just not paying? Like, yeah, you got a camera, but what you gonna do? You ain't got no people manning the station to stop me.
I have an answer for that, but I don't want to derail my story. But we can come back to that and what they can do and what they have done.
Right. Okay, but we don't want to do Walmart.
Okay,
so didn't have it.
So I like Googled like nursery near us, and Dad was like, "Oh, how far is it?" And I said it's 10 minutes. So he was like, "Oh, I don't know." And I was like, "It's 10 minutes towards the house." He was like, "Okay." So we went to a nursery that I have been driving by for years, and it was actually like really nice because we found somebody to talk to us, and she said like, "Oh, well, if you hadn't ripped it all up and thrown it out, you could have just cut it down to here." And he was like, "Well, my daughter's tried that." And he was like, "But when she did it, she cut it to the nub and then nothing grew." And I was like, "Okay, yes," because I looked at Google and I misinterpreted. Okay. But then she was like, "You can plant some seeds and you'll probably have something shooting up there in like a week or two." So Dad bought some seeds. Also, I killed my basil plants. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for you. I'm just saying.
I know,
but
like, I feel so much guilt because you can see it when you like open the blinds in the morning, and every morning Dad's like, "You just killing that basil, huh? You just killing it. It's dying. Look at it. And I'm like, sorry. I tried, but basil's really freaking finicky. Um, uh, and so we bought some basil seeds also. And so now we're going to try to grow the plants from seeds and see how that goes. So yes, we did that. And then I made a different kind of peach cobbler because I've been wanting to make a crispy peach cobbler, which I found the recipe on Chef John from foodwishes.com like YouTube channel. The problem is that every time I buy 6 peaches, getting ready to make this crispy peach cobbler, Mom comes in and is like, can you just make the peach cobbler that you made last time? And it's kind of like, but I want to try something new. And she's like, well, how about you make a peach pie? Because I like that too. And I was like, but I want to try something new. You've already had the peach pie. She was like, well, how about that peach galette? And I was like, but I want to do something new.
What part of new is not clicking, mother?
She tried all of her tricks. She was like, I'm just saying, that peach cobbler. I said, I did this on purpose and made the peach cobbler that you like last weekend so that this weekend I can make a new, different peach cobbler. And she's like, but we already know we like that one. And I was like, you might like this one too, but you don't know it because we have to try something new. And she's like, well, what about your father? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, crispy. How crispy? Is it gonna break your dad's teeth? And I was like, it's not gonna break anybody's teeth. It's got a light candy shell.
Okay, here's the thing. What I don't. This is the thing. I feel like you have proven your ability to make food your family likes. Like 9 times out of 10, they like what you cook, right?
Yeah.
When it's new shit, like every time it's new, and they discover a new thing they like from you, they request you to cook. So let her cook. Literally, let her cook. You're gonna like it. 99.9.
And then I made it, and then they all loved it.
Exactly. What a surprise!
I told Dad about what about your father? You could break his teeth. And my dad was like, what did she do?
Again, you've proven yourself capable. It's one of those. It's like with when there's like a
and I pick good recipes for my skill set.
That's what I'm saying. You've proven that you know your ability. You know how to challenge your ability in a way that it's still going to come out good. It might not be your favorite out of everything that you've tried, but it's edible. It's tasty, and now you know what this flavor combination is, but you ain't never gonna know unless you challenge yourself, and you've done enough that it's like when you have a favorite artist or a favorite director, like people who are fans of Michael Bay. Oh, Michael Bay is working on something, I'm gonna like it. You don't even know what the fuck he's making yet. You don't even know the ingredients to what he's making. You just know it's Michael Bay, and you like Michael Bay's previous stuff, so you can just assume you gonna like this. I'm the same with like Anderson .Paak as a musical artist. If Anderson .Paak is featured on a track, it's probably gonna be good, and his part's probably gonna be the best part. Same with Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is on a track, he's probably gonna have the best part. Don't even matter what artist he's with. I don't care if it's Taylor Swift or Wu-Tang. It's gonna be good. Whatever the fuck he's working on. So let people's records speak for themselves and judge it afterwards. And the fact that you even accommodate your family by basically trying to appease them of like, here's something that you're familiar with. Now here's a spin on it next week. And they're just like, I don't like change. Yes, you do, because the thing I gave you last week was a change from the thing that you had last year or so.
Just a little change. It's just a little change.
Just a little remix. Just a little remix.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of how I feel about a character on a show. Have you watched Delicious in Dungeon on Netflix?
No.
I think you might like this. I think you'll like Delicious in Dungeon. So, to give you the concept, basically you have what's like a D&D party essentially, going through the many layers of this dungeon to rescue one of their other party members. But they ain't got a lot of money, which means they can't really afford food. So they are going to cook the monsters they encounter in the dungeon. And they run into a dwarf who's like good at this shit. Like he's been doing this for a long ass time. So when this party runs into them, they had already attempted to like cook a monster. It was like a sentient mushroom, like literally just a mushroom that has legs, but when you cut it open, it's no organs or nothing. It's a fucking mushroom. But they'd never done this before. So when their leader did it, the food came out all bland and everything because he don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's always had an interest in doing it. He just never knew where to start or like what ingredients to do. And the rest of his team members are already like, I'm not eating a fucking monster. That's fucking weird. I'm not doing that. But then the dwarf came along and was like, nah, see, this is what you gotta do. You need to stir fry this, grab a little bit of this, do this, da-da-da-da-da. And they was like, yo, this shit is bussin'. Now, it didn't take a whole lot for the leader to be on board. Like I said, he always had an interest in eating monsters and whatever they taste like. But one of their party members was still on the fence. Now, she had tasted what this dwarf had just whipped up. It's like, okay, you just had what your leader attempted, and it was nasty, right? This is what it's supposed to taste like. It tastes good, right? You all geeking over the fucking moss thinking it's something special. Nah, bitch, it's just random ass moss that you can find anywhere. I just know how to cook. At this point, too, or like later on, like I say by end of episode 1, if not into episode 2, he maybe made 2 more meals. And she's still, ew, I don't want to eat a monster. That's so weird. I'm like, girl, he's already proven at least twice that he knows what the fuck he's doing. He even asked her, because she was like, oh my god, I'm so hungry. And he's like, what do you have a taste for? You want something sweet? You want something savory? What you want? And based on what she wanted, he was able to decipher the foliage around them, the potential monsters they had, and what they could make from it. And this man made like a sweet tart or something. It looked so good. I was like, listen, the first time you make a dish out of something that I thought was gonna be nasty and you made it good, I trust you. It really only takes once for me to convince me of something that I was standoffish about at being good. Like, you convinced me, bro. And I think you would like this show. It has an element of mystery, it has adventure, it has cooking. I think they also include like little recipe cards too. So you can attempt to make something similar. Check it out. It was airing it was airing weekly. It was airing weekly, but now I believe is it the first season? I want to say all the first season, if not the second, is up, or it's been renewed for a second season. But there's definitely more episodes coming, but you could definitely binge it.
Man, I love shows like that. I used to watch when I was growing up a show that I believe used to come on TMC, and it was called Beans and Cornbread. And they'd be like,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Do you know
that the one? I think I do. It's kind of like TNT or something. Beans and cornbread.
Beans and cornbread. Yes.
They would like make food, if not from a movie, like affiliated with a movie or something.
Yeah. As they talk about the movie.
Yes, I remember. Oh, nostalgia. Like, I remember watching it and not fully getting it, but still being like entranced about it. I don't know what it was about.
I used to love cooking shows, but also thought like, how can anybody go this fast if you're following along at home? Because I didn't understand the concept that you're supposed to. I guess now that we have YouTube, it would make sense. Like, okay, so if I were going to do that, I would need to record it, because we didn't have streaming. You'd have to record it on your VCR. And then rewind it, and then get to the end, get the recipe, and then rewind it, and then try it at home. I guess. Or, I don't know. Again, they didn't give instructions.
Take notes while watching.
They did not give instructions about how I'm supposed to figure this out. They just throw it at you, and people who are cooking are doing this stuff just know how to do it, and I had no idea.
They should bring
And I tried to ask my mother, and she was like, "Girl, what you watching a cooking show for?" I don't.
They need to bring that back. That was such a good concept. Like now they have like fucking mukbangs, which is just watching people eat food and talk about random shit.
I don't want to see. Yes, I don't want to see you be a consumer. I want to see you be a creator.
Right, like cook something in association with a movie or a TV show. You know, like what's it called? Science Theater 9000, 2000, whatever it is. Something like that, but it's cooking.
I would love to do a beans and cornbread themed like podcast or show, and it just be like black movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Dinner and a Movie. That's what it was called. The theme song was Beans and Cornbread, but the series was called Dinner and a Movie.
Cool.
Good. We had some good shows back in the day, man. Like,
yeah,
they were definitely, and they were the shows where it's like, if you did not catch it when it aired, good fucking
you didn't
luck.
see it. You didn't see it.
Shoot, you couldn't even watch the TV Guide channel without being on time. Otherwise, you gotta sit there another 15 minutes just to see what show was on in the time that you was trying to figure out what's on. Oh my god, like everything was an event. You had to tune in Friday for stuff. You had to tune in Saturday morning for the new stuff.
You had to tune into the 1996 Summer Olympics. Streaming has ruined that. Streaming has ruined the Olympics.
It is. Like I just wait for people to send me the clips of stuff.
Yeah, send me the highlights, and and also like I felt that way about a lot of like presidential debates. Every State of the Union address, my mom's like,
send me the highlights.
Are presidents on the TV? Are you gonna watch it? And I was just kind of like,
I'll catch it on
our
YouTube later.
president being on the TV got oversaturated in 2020, and now I just like send me the cliff notes, the highlights, the
memes, the jokes.
Yes.
Send me that.
Yes.
Like the only reason why I even tuned into some of Biden's debate was because of everything I was hearing. I was like, I gotta see this for myself.
No, I didn't want to see it. I figured my father and I were coming home from golf, and I was like, the presidential debate is on tonight, and he was like, I know. And I was like, do you want to see it? Because I was already thinking like I didn't want to see it, but unusual for him, who's always been very involved with politics and stuff like that. He was like, I don't want to see it. I know.
I mean, for one, it was so fucking early. They did it in like what, June?
And then we saw it, and it was like, this is worse than I imagined it would be.
Yeah. Again, they already was doing the debate mad early.
It was so distressing.
And then, you know, it was like the topics they were going to talk about is like, I already know one of them is going to be lying, and the moderators are not going to fact check him.
But he was lying just like every time he opened his mouth. He's lying, and it's like, I can't truth as fast as you can lie. Like, I can't.
and that's one of the biggest issues people have with these debates. There's no one there to fact check or just
right. So it's like you're broadcasting lies just because it's live and it's broadcasting, and he's lying.
And you just let him you just let him spew this stuff, and you just say, "Thank you." Now, so like, don't say thank you to a lie. To a lie. Thank you for lying dead in my face. Hi, what do you have to say? And then the other person is saying like, well, that was a lie, but it's like, to the other people, it's like, he's just lying, saying that what my person said was a lie. What are we doing? What are we doing? All this is doing is just putting your candidates on display and just showing just an arbitrary sense of like strength, essentially. So
and then for everybody to walk away with that and be like, oh, Biden looks like he's in cognitive decline, and it's just kind of like, well, what about the other guy that's lying? Like, I just feel like Democrats have to be like so like good. Yeah, it was
worse and worse, and then to the point that even people outside of the Democratic Party were sitting here like, that was fucking awful. But I don't even have faith in this party to recognize how bad it was and force this man to step down because, oh, he's the incumbent president and there's no precedence for the incumbent president to step down in a re-election. Well, make it the precedent. Look at him. He's barely cognizant up there.
I think
he's like 80 something. Let him rest.
I think him catching COVID put the nail in the coffin because
it takes a lot out of you when you're a healthy body person. You're 84, sir. Respectfully, sit the fuck down.
After he had said that he had ended the pandemic and then you catch COVID and we already know that it accelerates cognitive decline. Like
at this point, COVID is not necessarily killing people. But it's just
still just it's still killing people and it's disabling people.
Okay,
like it's
killing at the rate that it was when it first came out is basically up there with like you can still die from the flu if you don't treat it right.
Nope. COVID is still killing people at a rate that is higher than the flu. We're still having people in their 20s die of strokes.
No, I'm not saying COVID's not killing at all. I'm just saying
disabling people, like they can't work.
I'm saying it's still around the same way the flu is still around. And the flu can still kill people, just not at the rate that the flu used to take people out. COVID is still taking people out at a high rate, but not at the rate it was when it first came out. So it's like, you still gotta do your part. You did not get rid of COVID, just like you did not get rid of the flu. It is here. It is being managed. But yeah, to declare that you got rid of it is like, nigga, what are you talking about? You literally just caught it yesterday. How'd you catch something you got rid of? Shoot, even I still get
and then at a key point when you needed to be out showing people that you are okay, you still are healthy enough to be the president, you couldn't do it. And then Trump got there was an assassination attempt.
Funny how that has fallen out of the news cycle.
Actually, it's not funny because
I
the
say
thing
funny
is that I like I said, I think I said it last week that I want to see that fucking ear. Because like,
well, it was glass. It was supposedly glass that cut his ear anyway, not the bullet. And someone did die from the bullet.
I know, and that's sad. That's tragic.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should die just going to a political rally. That's terrible.
As annoying as that rally may be. But I do find it.
I can disagree with you, but I don't want you dead. Like that.
Yeah, I just don't want you in my face. I just don't want you in my face. I just want you to shut the fuck up. And whoever you trying to put up in front of all of Americans, no, I don't want that man to represent me. If you want him to represent, your little club or
I want you to be away from me, but safe.
Your state safely away from me. And then, but like for them to be like, oh yeah, bring your AKs and all that to the RNC, and then after the assassination attempt, now we can't bring guns to the convention. Why not?
You shouldn't have been able to.
But that's what I'm saying. Like for this to be your party's platform and be like, yeah, the only way you can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Why not let these people in with their guns? Can't you tell who the good ones are? No? Either way.
And now there's a bunch of controversy about the ear. But the assassination attempt did happen. So
I don't see what the controversy is about the ear. Like, he got cut in the ear. It wasn't a bullet.
No, because he was running around telling people that he got shot in the face, and then
he might have gotten shot with a piece of glass.
And then people were showing up to the RNC with tan pads glued to their ears, and in solidarity,
that is so
or something.
Weird. I don't see me wearing something in solidarity like that. Like if somebody was injured and then I start wearing it. Someone had compared it to when Nelly used to wear that face tape on his face, and how his fans would also wear the face tape on their face as like an aesthetic thing. But it was like an aesthetic thing. Nelly wasn't hurt. That was just his aesthetic. I'm not gonna, if one of my favorites broke their leg, I'm not gonna wear a fake cast in solidarity. What? That don't make any sense. It's not an aesthetic choice. He's hurt.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
So much.
But then, for everybody to say, like, you're too sick, you're too old, go away. And then for him to let them, like, spew all that venom towards him for a whole week during the RNC, and then afterwards and be like, all right, then I'm stepping down.
and then didn't tell a majority of the party. Like the only people, I don't even think Kamala knew. I think it was just like his wife and his like main like advisor, and he just drops this tweet. That's why I had to check. I was like, nah, was this an official letter from him? Oh wow, okay, well, at least he.
And I have been pleasantly surprised by how excited people are to get on board. I hope it lasts. I don't know. I'm on pins and needles, hoping that the other shoe does not drop. But
I'm very surprised too, because it's like
I'm surprised. I like it, but I'm surprised. Yeah.
Like in terms of a candidate going up, Kamala is competent. Like that's what everybody's saying. She's competent, which is a very low fucking bar.
No,
as of late,
we're
saying
coming
someone
from,
is competent is like, she can read. Like,
well, we had questions about that in the last debate for both of the candidates.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's a low fucking bar considering where we were to just say they're competent.
He picked the only person.
I need the bar higher.
He picked the only person who could launch a campaign, an effective campaign within 24 hours. And she did
exactly, because she's the vice president. Like, honestly, it makes more sense to me that it would be a procession of sorts where you have your president and your vice president, and after the president's term, you know, if they get reelected or not, after they're out of office, the next person that they would purport as the party's next candidate would be the person who was right there at their side for the last 8 fucking years. And I've only really seen that in the last, you know, in the Obama term. So you had Obama and Biden, and then it became Biden and Kamala, and now it's Kamala. That procession that just makes sense to me, because you got someone who's actually in the office, seeing how things are running, probably have the same policies, knows the ins and outs, instead of having to sit here and go to the barrel and try to find someone else, 2 others at that, to then put to the people. We already should be familiar with the vice president enough to be like, yeah, I like this president. I probably like this vice president as the president. Unless you just did not like anybody, so you're like, yeah, get them the fuck out, both of them. Both of them, just get them the fuck out. So now
I did see there was I think it was a homeowners association. A woman had put a sign out on her front lawn. It was 2 weeks ago, so before a whole bunch of the shit had gone down, but it was 2 weeks ago. She had a sign on her front lawn that said, fuck them both 2024.
Yes, that was the sentiment. Everyone's like, I don't like any of these choices. These choices fucking suck. But now, again, instead of having incompetent and incompetenter, we now have incompetent. And you're like, oh, thank God there's an adult in the room that doesn't need diapers. You know? But at the same time, as a black woman, I'm looking at this brown woman that they're putting up, and I'm like, if they didn't even vote, if Clinton lost, a white woman with the Clinton lineage behind her and all of the old money of DC behind her didn't win, what hope do we have
I have. Okay, so
What is it? Is it the black vote? Is it the black woman?
no. The thing about Hillary was that they could see her coming. They could see her coming from back when Bill Clinton got elected for his first term. They were paying attention to her, and they had spent a lot of time and money and resources preparing for her to run and to defeat her when she ran. The anti-Hillary machine was already built and ready to go.
Okay,
However, Kamala, I don't think they really saw that coming. I don't really think that even though they were yelling at him to step down and step aside and you're too old and blah blah blah, I don't really think they really thought he was going to do it. And also they did not have the years or decade or so running up to her being the Democratic nominee to have a defense against her, which is why that other side, like, they're scrambling. Like, Trump is on the podium saying all sorts of wild shit, and after he says it, he like looks at him like, did that hit? How about this one? How about this one?
Or
he
even
is like pulling things out of his bag.
or the one that really got me, that told me like, y'all haven't been paying attention to her at all. Like, I have a very cursory knowledge of Kamala because she has been kind of like to the back seat as a vice president through all of this.
That's what most vice presidents do.
I know. But like, compared to when Obama and Biden were around, I felt like I saw a lot more of Biden alongside Obama than I did Kamala next to Biden. But either way, even in the initial election of Biden and Kamala, when she was doing her like interviews and stuff, I got a cursory idea of who she was, in the sense that like, she used to be a prosecutor or a state attorney. Like, okay, she's worked in law to some degree. I know that much about her. So when I saw a clip of JD Vance talking about how she's just living off of a government check and don't do nothing, but I used to be in the Marine Corps, I said, nigga, she used to be a state attorney. What are you talking about? A state check? Huh?
Yes, a state check from being an attorney.
Yes. I'm like, yeah. You know, like how you apparently probably get paid by the government for whatever the fucking job you do? What the fuck? I'm like, y'all don't know nothing. So yeah, they are scrambling. They're trying to find, like, they keep calling her like a DEI hire. And them calling her a DEI hire is more so the fact that plays into the fact that they weren't paying attention to her. They thought she was just there.
That's their baseline.
Yeah,
that's what they have to say about
any non-white man in a position is just there to check a box. And in some situations, yes, sometimes people are just there to check a box. It's not as common as they try to make it out to be, because believe me, as a black person in a career where I don't see many people that look like me in these positions, I'm very much aware that I'm checking off multiple boxes, whether that was intentional or not in my hiring. I know I'm checking off a lot of just, what's the word? Surface level boxes, you know. But do I have the skill set to keep me here? Like, it'll get me in the door maybe, but is my skill set keeping me in the door? Am I an asset when you take away all the little check boxes? Can I do my job?
I don't think what they imagine affirmative action to be and the reality of affirmative action don't exist. Like,
they don't.
No, I don't.
The whole point is just to expand your pool, essentially. Like, we tend to gravitate towards the things that are familiar in our network and things, but then it can sometimes get incestuous, and you can't expand and evolve if you don't bring in new ideas and people and perspectives. You have to expand.
Well, how about the notion that when you stop suppressing black people and other people of color, then they excel? How about that? That's
it. Give us an opportunity. Like, just give us resources. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, but like I said, the machine, the anti-Hillary machine was built, ready, locked, ready to go. They got started the minute that Bill Clinton got into office. Like,
and the Kamala machine is basically
the Kamala machine
it's a Lego set with a bunch of pieces, and they don't know what goes together. They
weren't expecting that. They're like, oh shit.
She has a funny laugh. She's crazy. It's like, oh, okay.
Your guy's convicted of 34 counts.
Right. You have that dude is guilty. He's not in jail, but he's been found guilty, and he's going up against a prosecutor. And don't y'all like cops? Y'all should love Kamala.
Yeah, this is your law and order president that you wanted. This is her. Anyway,
I don't even want to see a debate between her and Trump. Like, I do not care.
I do.
I'll wait for the highlights. Like,
but I don't think it's gonna. It might not happen because I think he's afraid of her.
Oh, of course.
She's
going to talk circles around him,
and he's already saying like, well, she is right now. She is the presumptive nominee, and he was like, well, she's not the Democratic nominee yet. So I'm
pretty sure she will be. At this point, we're just they're just trying to discuss who's going to be her VP.
Right.
Well, hopefully things work itself out in a way where, at the very least, the news timeline can stop being about politics. I feel like it has been about fucking Trump ever since he's gotten into politics. I thought that for at least 4 years with Biden, this nigga would just slither away to Florida, wherever the fuck he is, and I wouldn't hear from him ever again. But no, this nigga has been in the fucking news for like 8 years, and I'm tired. I don't want to see him no more. My only saving grace in all of this is that his youngest son has stayed out of the limelight. I do not think children need to be hit with the repercussions of their parents' decisions. And some disgusting people out there will try to target the family members. But their youngest
also he gives jobs to his family members. But the youngest is a child. Yeah.
Yeah, the family members who are like involved, they're grown ass adults that are positioning themselves for various positions within his party and stuff like that. But the youngest one, he's like maybe 18. We maybe only saw him twice for like family events. And everyone's just like, good, we don't need to see him.
Right.
Hopefully he grows up and is nothing like his father or his siblings. You know, it's like watching fucking Game of Thrones. Which, speaking of, did you watch last week?
I did. I'm very excited.
We were praying for Mr. Darkland. R.I.P. There was one meme that was going around.
That dragon was being.
Go ahead. With C-Smoke, there was this tweet going around where it's like, C-Smoke said dark skin, not dark Lynn.
But why did the dragon play him like that? That was so mean.
He's like,
because he did troll him. He did like lay down and like yeah, do it.
Come on, get on
Get on my back. Get on my back
here. Psych. Oh man, he's a cat. He's like a cat.
Mean.
He is like a cat. Cats are just like that. They'll act like, yeah, I'll let you pet me.
I said that a long time ago that the dragons are like cats. They are like cats in their personality. They can just ignore you and be like, nah, I just don't really feel like coming over there. Like they did to what's her name, the one who's in the veil right now.
Oh no, she almost died the last time she tried to
but they didn't kill her because you can see how they can
she dodged the flame. They can dodge the flame. We don't know what brought her to near death, but we know she was close enough that there's like, we're not doing that.
We can see that she's unburnt. She's not burnt, and she's still here. Because if they decide, because they can trick you like they did, like Sea Smoke did. Oh boy, like come on, come closer.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it helped.
Rhaenyra watching it all go down in the background, screaming, "No!"
Yeah,
you can't stop it. You can't stop it.
At least with Rhaena,
can't stop it.
At least with Rhaena, like maybe they could smell the Valerian Targaryen in her, and it's like,
and then the dragon was like, "Oh well, if y'all ready for me to get a rider and ride off into war, which y'all like, let me go get the one that I won't."
Right. I've been watching him for a while from the beach. I've been watching him. I'm surprised he even came up from the cave from their little song.
And then he acted like an overzealous puppy. Do you not realize how big you are, dragon?
Right.
Do you not realize that you are a dragon? You're scaring the hell out of this man.
Right. And you talk about don't show fear. He looked pretty scared.
He's scared as hell.
He's
scared
running
as hell. But this is an overzealous puppy that says like.
And what is with these dragons popping up like Jason Voorhees, where no one seems to see them in these blind spots? He's a big ass dragon.
That bitch in the veil. That bitch in the veil knows that there's a big ass dragon running around.
Oh no, she knew. She said as much. She's like, yeah, it's there. Alas, it's untamed. Alas. I kind of like that scene though.
I hope our girl gets it. I hope she gets it.
Yeah, I like that scene with her and Joffrey where she's trying to explain the situation. Like, sometimes we're called to do greater things, and sometimes we just gotta play our part. And he's just like, I miss my mother. And she's just like, yeah, well.
I do wish like she'd stop feeling salty about playing the role that she's playing, because she's Rhaenyra actually trusted her with all of the future of that house.
I know, but like when you are being raised by Daemon fucking Targaryen,
I guess you really do think that you got to be out there riding a dragon and killing shit.
Yes. But first of all, your father is Daemon. Your mother rode Vhagar.
Yeah, and she chose to burn herself up.
Burnt herself up because she couldn't push this big-headed baby out. Then, yo raggedy ass cousin? Was that her cousin? Uncle? I think.
Who?
Aemon.
Oh, yeah. What is he?
He's her
cousin.
Uncle.
Mom's.
No, father's brother's son.
Father's brother's son is a cousin, yeah.
No, father's brother's son.
Brother's son. Yeah, brother's son, yeah. Cousin. First cousin on one side, but also cousin on the other side. Your double cousin.
Your double first cousin.
Your double cousin killed your betrothed.
And stole your mama's dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So she got a lot. She's got Daemon as a daddy.
Yeah.
Daemon as a daddy. Mama's dead. Mama's dragon that should have went to her stolen. Cause it's like I don't even know how.
And sister has a dragon. Has no problem.
Sister has a dragon, no problem. Her egg never hacked. So let me get my mama's dragon. Nope, that got stolen by my first cousin, who also killed my betrothed / stepbrother / cousin.
And his dragon.
And his dragon. I've been wanting a dragon ever since my egg never hatched. I'm losing all these people close to me. I can't really help outside of babysitting, and the niggas I'm babysitting have dragons.
Yeah.
Everybody got a dragon but me. She's sitting in the nursery, and the twins are playing with their cat-sized dragons. And she ain't got shit. She over here trying to explain shit to little baby Joffrey. He ain't even listening. He just, I want my mother. I'm like, this kid's making bang. Like that, man. I was like, and scene. That boy has literally had like maybe 2 lines the entire season.
Well, when we don't see him for a long time, we forget about him. Such as Allison.
I know.
Third boy, I forgot all about him. And then they started talking about him.
The third strong boy. He's so cute though. I love baby Joffrey.
No, not the third strong boy.
Yes.
Allison's boy in Old Town.
Daron.
Yeah, I forgot all about him. Then they start talking about him. I was like, damn, they did send a kid away.
But that's because they only ever spoke of him. We never saw him. Like,
yeah,
after the time jump, after the after Damon and Rhaenyra got married, that time jump, somewhere in that time, I want to say Alicent had her kid. No, because that was only like 8 years, so it had to have been prior. That nigga was gone when his daddy was on his deathbed.
Well,
he had to have been, because he wasn't at the family dinner, but he was technically alive, I think.
Travel's not easy.
It's not, but like you could have at least invited him home. Well, no, because technically Rhaenyra was just there because she was trying to, because her son's rights to Driftmark was being challenged, so that's the only reason why she even turned up for a impromptu family reunion after like 4 years of being on Dragonstone. So yeah, I guess they couldn't send a raven to Daron, be like, hey, your sister's coming over for dinner, you want to stop by? But it's a good thing he stayed his ass over in, what is it, Hightower, Highland?
Is it Old Town?
Old Town.
Old Town, yeah.
Old Town. Yeah, he sounds great.
Yeah.
You know, I also like, what's Alicent's brother's name? Gwedard? It's something with a G.
Yeah.
That don't need to be there. It's like Eddard with a G or something. I like him. He is so tired of everything. He just wants to go back to Old Town. He's got to go back to battle with a fucking dragon and her jump off. She over here asking him questions, talking about, I wanted to give you my blessing. He's like, oh, great, thanks. Whatever good that's gonna fucking do me. Oh, you're gonna pray for me? Great, yeah, thanks. Oh, you wanna know about your son? I mean, he's alright. Don't he call you? No, daddy don't call me either. He likes you more anyway. Why the fuck would he call me? I'm only here because you called me. The fuck? But no, Daron sounds cool because his mama didn't raise him. Talking about, oh, he sounds lovely. It's like, yeah, well, it's a good thing he wasn't, I guess, at the Red Keep. The Red Keep seems to do things to people. On top of you being a fucked mother. But in her defense, Alicent was like a teenage mom, so she wouldn't really know how to raise kids anyway. What done happened to your mic, Fatima? Fatima? I don't think she can hear me, Mike. Who's that? Is that Elgin? I'm trying to look at that shirt. It looks colorful. That looks like an Elgin shirt. You good, Fatima?
Are you frozen?
Okay.
There it is.
Just went out all of a sudden.
Yeah, I saw your mic hit went out for a bit. I didn't know if somebody had came in the room. You was just muting yourself.
No, it just went out, and I got a notification popped up like saying like your mic quit. Plug it in again.
It's like, look, it's 7 o'clock. I gotta wrap this show up.
I guess so. Jeez.
But yeah, so we're not gonna see Daron until probably like season 3.
I want him to pop up this episode on his dragon.
Well, this is what, the penultimate episode.
Is it already?
Yeah.
We're here already?
Yeah. We got this episode, and then next week is the season finale.
Okay.
I hope the next season is here sooner rather than later.
I'm gonna end up messing around and reading these damn books. Ugh. I don't want to, but
it's much different. I mean, even in terms of like dragon lore, it's gonna be such a dissonance.
But if they tell me like it's gonna be another 2 years before I get another season, I'm going to just read the books.
I'm a wait. Like I said, it's such a contrast to what's in the books anyway.
It is, and I read all of A Song in Ice and Fire, and And I appreciate the books as being different than the show, but I really enjoyed those books. And then
Also-
like after the show, I don't know. I also read all of Dunk and Egg. But
Oh, that's another series they're supposed to be starting.
yeah, I want that.
Which I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know if I'm gonna be interested, but I'll probably watch it just because House of the Dragon isn't on. Also, I think it's funny how the actors are like only like a 3-year difference between a lot of them. Like Allison's playing, she's like 30 playing the mother to Aemon, and he's like 28.
You'd be surprised as to like how often that happens, because I remember watching like, you know, that classic movie like The Graduate, and like the woman who's supposed to be like his girlfriend's mother, I think she's only like a few years younger than like the main dude, but they're acting like she's so old. And
she's
like,
younger than the dude, but playing the mother. That's why. But listen, you only really you see that more prominently with white actors, though.
I think it's always just sexism, because it's the idea that men don't get old, only women get old. Kind of like men don't get fat, only women get fat, which is like not true. It's just that like when men get fat, nobody cares. They can still pull a hot woman. But when women get fat, it's like, oh no, what happened? You threw away your looks. Like it's fake outrage.
It's just But yeah, these actors are great. I'm gonna miss Miss Best. I forget her first name. The one that plays Rhaenys.
Yeah. Oh my God.
She
was so amazing.
She is so sweet. I've been watching like all the different interviews that the cast have done. They are so fun and
that couple together when they're doing
like I forget his first name, Toussaint. I just know them by their last names, Toussaint and Best.
Maybe they can go on and kill him too, so that they can do another show together. Like
they're like, even as just castmates, like seeing the behind the scenes. Like if you haven't watched the behind the scenes videos, I highly suggest watching it just to see how they put the sets together and how the actors get together. Or even like when they brought back Patty Jenkins to play Viserys. I thought they was just reusing clips. No, they brought this man back, and he is hilarious in the behind the scenes. He's holding the sword like it's a guitar. He's in the scene with his wife, which they brought the wife back just to be a corpse too.
Wow.
She's laying on the tab, and like before they're going into the scene, he's like, "Who wrapped my son in this shit rag?" Okay, that's the scene. Like he's such a goof. It's really fun just seeing like the stark contrast to the actors playing these dramatic roles, but they're just goofballs. Which is like, you gotta have a sense of humor, because it gets dark with these shows at times.
With these dead babies,
and blood, and adultery, and all that.
Getting burnt up by a dragon.
Yeah.
Getting eaten alive by a dragon.
Yeah. Even Aegon's actor, he is just like with Joffrey from Game of Thrones. They are stark contrast to the hateful dudes that they are playing.
Right.
Where to the point where like Aegon's actor is like terminally offline. He does not know anything.
That is good. That is good. Good for him.
He's like, I dress like my grandfather from the 1950s. He's just like, you know, this is just a job. Bess says she don't even watch her scenes back. She does not watch the show because she doesn't want to see herself act. Aegon's actor is the same way. They're both stage performers. Like they both come from doing theater stuff, and they said that kind of plays into it too. But yeah, Aegon's actor's like, I don't watch myself back. I'm not on the internet. I hate Kristen Cole, but his actor is acting his ass off, and unfortunately, people are they're conflating the actor with the character he's playing.
That's so stupid.
To the point where he's like muted comments on like his Instagram and stuff because people have just been so vile to him, and I'm like,
aw,
he's a good actor. Let the man act. Like,
you feel that way because he's such a good actor,
right? I'm like, whenever I say, I'm like, I hate Kristen Cole. Like, if I were to meet him in real life, I would be happy to meet him. Like, I love you. I hate that nigga. You played him so good. Like, you want a villain that you like to hate. Like, I like hating Kristen. I like hating him. I like the actor for bringing that out of me. God, I just need to go out and lick a tree. God damn.
Or plant some seeds.
Plant some trees, lick a tree. Just get off the internet, man. It can be fun. See a concert. But
all right.
I think that is our time.
Yep. I will maybe see you next week.
Yes, I should have my ass sitting at home.
And we will discuss more Hot D. But also, we need to discuss the boys. Because the boys be getting too close to reality.
And for the script to be written like months, years in advance, edited and then put out and still align with current events is wild. Yeah.
So next time
on
gotta talk about the boys. Oh yeah, I've been Fatima.
And I have been Ash.
And we have been Fatash. Goodbye.
Bye.